for your families, and we'll always stand together to ensure that at today you are here, tomorrow you're gone. I hope that we as leaders can remember that, because sometimes we just, with our chest, we line our pockets, we collect billions and billions of shillings, and we forget the people who have put us where they are. Ngeno fought for the people of Emurua Dikirr. You know, I was just watching a lot of YouTube episodes, and there's one who was saying, Shikaledama, Shikaledama. And what we're doing is that forest. But ultimately, we came together and we fought, we united, and a lot of development.
On behalf of my family and also the people of the Great Murang'a County, I want to offer my deepest condolences to the widow of Honorable Johanna Ngeno, together with her children, her family, their family, because he's one leader who embodied boldness, courage, and fearless leadership, but in a respectable way, though he may have been confused as over defending or over fighting. I remember as a member of UDA, when we had the nominations, Honorable Speaker, for Narok County, there were a lot of conflicts within the Narok County, but he emerged as a leader. And anyone who rallied behind him won their seats on an indefatigable defender of the vulnerable people. And I remember how he fought from Mau Forest, the pride of people of Emurua Dikirr and Narok at large. And in a big sense, we could say he actually did shape the current leadership of the Narok County. We are deeply saddened by the loss, and it is sad to see the kind of accidents we are having. Like it has been analyzed, there have been one too many. And I hope, Honorable Speaker, as we discuss the motion I brought to the House on road accidents, we will consider also taking this air accident as a subject of praying for children and the entire family. Rest in peace, our dear colleague, our brother. You had a warm, loving heart. And I pray that the legacy that he left will be emulated by other leaders and by his family and the people of Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me also join my colleagues to also So pass a message of condolences to the family, National Assembly. With Johanna Ngeno, and he was a very lovely person. And the speaker, later on, he married in a very colorful wedding, which most of us attended. And since then, there is one important thing I learned from him, that Ngeno spoke his mind, regardless of which political he was in. Whether he could speak his mind and he could protect his people on any issue, even if his bosses have an alternative idea. So we have lost a great leader from the Rift Valley, and I hope God rest his soul in eternal peace.
Senator Sek. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also take this opportunity to condole to the people of Narok, Emurua Dikir, sub-county. Honorable Speaker, and John Ngeno, a person whom I found to be a friend to me. He has been an MP for Emurua Dikir in 2013. Up to now, Honorable Ngeno has been a person who speaks his mind, person who fights for his people, whom is person speaks his mind regardless of the situation. Honorable Speaker, this is an issue which has just occurred in this country, which we are all of us praying that it should be a natural occasion or even a natural calamity that has come to this country. But we want to say that Honorable Ngeno was a very courageous person, a person who talks to almost everybody, a person who has empowered his people, and a person whom speak to his mind in every situation that he is at that moment because of his people. Honorable Speaker, it happens that this issue of death has been a big issue to this country. It is something that we need for us to come as leaders to see how we can prevent some deaths, because we are talking about our legislature today, and most of our people, most of our citizens in this republic have been killed in most of the occasions. So we need really to sit down as a house and discuss on how much of the problems can be prevented, particularly on the issues that is being brought by the killings of police to the members of the public. Otherwise, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and we say pole to the family and to the entire family and the county
Senator
in large.
Senator Eddie.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity as well. I join my colleagues to mourn our colleague, Mheshimiwa Ngeno. Mr. Speaker, you know, when a great leader falls, sometimes we can reflect on accomplishments, but sometimes, for me, it is important that the aspiring, especially that the leader had, the hopes that he had, and the legacy that he leaves behind is more powerful than anything else, Mr. Speaker. I think if there's anything that Johanna Ngeno has reminded us today, is that sometimes we can be obsessed by the idea of power and positions, and sometimes we can be obsessed by the idea of personal merit. But actually, it is also important that we leave a mark in other people's hearts by the service that we leave behind. And therefore, may his towering speech live in eternal life in us, because, Mr. Speaker, this is a man who, as my colleagues have said, fought for his people, and died in the course of duty for his people. Because where he was in the course of service, Mr. Speaker. I come from Migori County, where I've seen the conflict between Maasai, Kipsigis, and the Kuria community. Time without number, leave families without homes, leave families without hope, and sometimes leave families without even limbs. People fight and die, and lives are lost there. And I saw how Mheshimiwa Ngeno fought for his people, the same way we are trying to fight for our people in Kuria, Mr. Speaker. And I want just to say sorry to his family, sorry to the people of Murua Dikir. We stand with him at this tempting time, and we share in the pain and loss. And in the same manner, Mr. Speaker, I must say that we also share in the pain and loss of the family of one Captain George Were. Mr. Speaker, Captain George Were is somebody who I think embodied at the highest level of professionalism, Mr. Speaker. I got the chance to actually fly with him a number of times when we were doing the Azimio campaigns. And it's unfortunate that this was the year that he was going to retire, and he had to go in this manner. We pray for his family, and we also pray for the people of Nyakach who have lost a serious industry. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I cannot forget to say sorry to the family of the 4 young people whose dreams were cut short in this tragedy, Mr. Speaker. If you look at the profile of these young people, Mr. Speaker, some of them, like Keter, was just getting to start his work as a teacher, Mr. Speaker. I want to say sorry to their families, Mr. Speaker, because when such young lives are lost, dreams are buried with them. And even the dreams of their families, their parents.
Senator Eddy, 1 minute to wind up your condolences.
Just to summarize that, Mr. Speaker, as a House and as a Senate, we want to say that we take the loss of their lives as young people and their parents just as serious as the loss of Mheshimiwa Ngeno and the captain. We want to say sorry to their families, and I hope both morally and materially to the families of those young lives that were lost in this tragedy, because they also matter. Because without them, they are the unsung heroes that sometimes are not seen behind leaders who exemplify excellence in our communities. They're the people who make these leaders work, they make us feature, and therefore I pray and hope that the nation will stand with their families just as much. Poleni sana, and may God bless them all.
Now, honorable senators, I will interrupt that order. We'll come back to it. So for those who are still willing to pass the condolences, you'll have a moment to do so. But allow me to rearrange today's order paper pursuant to Standing Order 45 and proceed to order number 8 all the way to 14. Once we are done with those orders, we will resume the order that is before us now, where honorable senators will have an opportunity to pass your condolences. Clerk, kindly proceed to call those orders.
Order number 8, Committee of the Whole. The Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2022, Division. Order number 9, Committee of the Whole. The Metrology Bill, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023, Division. Order number 10, Committee of the Whole. The Election Offenses Amendment number 2 Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2024, Division. Order number 11, Committee of the Whole. The Public Finance Management Amendment number 4 Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024, Division. Order number 12, Committee of the Whole. The Labor Migration and Management number 2 Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024, Division. Order number 13, Committee of the Whole. The Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2025, Division. Order number 14, Committee of the Whole. The County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill,
Senate Bills number 2 of 2024 division.
Senator Rice.
Honorable Senators, we are now in the Committee of the Whole, and we are about to go into division. Sergeant at Arms, please ring the bell for 5 minutes.
The members of the Senate have started considering bills that there are about 7 bills. Would like to conclude on particular bills of the Committee of the whole House. That is the priority business of the day. The quorum bell, the division bell is on for the members to and the recruitment of workers within and outside and to safeguard migrant laws related sections of the Labor Institutions Act and Employment Act. So this is a bill that members of the Senate managed to debate on it at the second reading stage. There were proposals or amendments that were given regarding this bill, and coming up is that these bills, that is the quorum bill. This bill also seeks to provide for the registration of private employment agencies and the cancellation of such registration. It also provides for the execution of security bond by private employment agencies engaged in the employment of workers for foreign employment. The security bond is intended to be used in the repatriation or payment of wages and other entitlements in the event of default by the private.
Honorable Senators, we've not attained the requisite quorum delegation.
Is still on. The House has not corrected yet for it to be able to bring up for consideration at the division stage at the Committee of the Whole. Remember, to alert members of the Senate that the process of division is yes, owing to the quorum hitch, and that their presence inside the chamber is highly needed for the House to correct and proceed with that particular matter. Remember, these are bills to be or need to move on to the next stage if it will be the third reading. So the bills cannot move and done with. So the priority business for the members of the Senate this afternoon has been to be able to dispense with these bills of the Committee of the Whole at the division stage. addition to be able to take place, at least 24 senators, and each of them shall be voting on the bills to be able to ensure that the House has the required votes for the bill either to move on to the next stage or the bills to be able to move on to the next stage. So that is what is currently happening. We shall be waiting to understand or hear from the chair whether that quorum has been attained for it to be able to move on to that particular stage. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order, that on election, all senators who are registered as voters in a particular county shall collectively constitute as paragraph regards the voting process that says otherwise in the in any matter affecting county to be cast on behalf of the county by the head delegate or the head of the delegation by another member of the delegation designated by the head of the delegation. The person who votes on behalf of a delegation shall determine whether or not to vote after consulting the other members of the delegation. So this is the division stage, and this is the matter that relates to the business that is currently on the floor of the House. The quorum is what the members are just waiting, or the House is just waiting to attain for it to be able to consider the divisions for this particular bill. One of the bills that I had indicated earlier was the labor migration. This is number 42 of 2024. A bill that seeks to provide for the regulation of private employment agencies and the recruitment of workers within and outside and migrant workers. And this is a bill that seeks to provide or basically to ensure that those concerns that have been on the bill is about 7 of them are lined up for consideration at the division stage at the committee of the whole, raised or ones that are the chair confirms that the quorum has been raised for the process to be able to continue, then it shall continue to ensure that this particular business, the members manage. We can see the leader of the majority party of the Senate counting the members inside the chamber. Let's listen to the speaker.
Please, can everybody take their seat? Senator Cherarke. Are you okay? Are you okay? Fast. Arms, please close the door and draw the bars. And please remove all unattended cards. Honorable Senators, can the majority and minority ascertain the numbers we have in the House, please? Honorable Senators, we are in the Committee of the Whole to consider the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40, Excellency, the President's recommendations.
Here's the question.
I proceed to put the question that the President's recommendation to delete clauses 2, 3, Honorable Senators, I'll notify you they are uploading the question shortly. Honorable Senators, I wish to bring to your attention that this is a presidential recommendation. To approve the presidential recommendation, you need only 24 delegations. To reject the president's recommendations, you need 2/3, which is 32 delegations. Senators, you may proceed to vote. The next one. As we prepare. Honorable Senators, this is to announce the results for this division. The ayes 24, the nays 1, the ayes have it. On meteorology bill, Senate bills number 45 of 2023. I put the question that the National Assembly amendments to clauses 1, 7, 12, 19, 38, 53, and to introduce clause now vote. Honorable Senators, these are the results for that division. The ayes 24, the nays 1, the ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we are now proceeding to the Election Offences Amendment number 2 bill, Senate bills number 28 of 2024. I put the question that the National Assembly amendment to clause 2 and to delete clause 4 be approved. Honorable Senators, the results for this division, the ayes 0, the nays 26, abstentions 0, the nays have it. Next. Next is which one?
We have a number of divisions.
We'll vote. This is,
Public finance management.
what is it?
So we're going to divisions on the public finance management bill.
Which one is it?
It's here, number 11.
Honorable Senators, we now move on to the Public Finance Management Amendment number 4, Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024. Please, can I? Division on new clauses. I put the question that new clauses 1A, 1B, 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, 3E, 3F, 3G, 3H, 31, 3I, sorry, 3J, 3K, 3L, 3M, 3N, 3O, 3P, 3Q, and 3 be now read a second time. I put the question, no, Members, you may now vote. Eh? No, no, no. They're voting yes, tell them. Honorable Senators, this is a vote on the Public Finance Management Bill, amendments, the new clauses, proposed new clauses. It's yes. There are senators who have not voted. Please vote.
I'll call them to the table.
Can we call them? Who are those?
We have Senator Cherarkey,
Senator Cherarkey, you have not voted. Senator Mazzayo?
Senator Mogeni, and Senator Osotsi,
Senator? Senator Osotsi?
and Senator Mogeni.
And Senator Mogeni. Please vote. Honorable Senators, we now move on to all clauses. No, clauses with amendments. I put the question that clauses 2 and 4 be part of the bill. You may now vote. I put the question that clauses 2 and 4 be amended as proposed. You may now vote. Honorable Senators, I now move to all clauses. I put the question that clause 2 as amended, clause 3, clause 4 as amended, new clause 1A, new clauses 1B, new clause 1B, new clause 3A, new clause 3B, new clause 3C, new clause 3D, new clause 3E, new clause 3F, new clause 3G, new clause 3H, new clause 31, new clause, new clause 3I, new clause 3J, new clause 3K, new clause 3L, new clause 3M, new clause 3N, new clause 3O, new clause 3P, new clause 3Q, new clause 3R, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. You may now vote.
Yes, Mogeni.
Honorable Senators, I'll now read the results for this particular division, these divisions. On the first division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. On the second division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. On the third division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, the abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we are now proceeding to the Labor Migration and Management number 2, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024. I put the question now we move to division on clauses with amendments. I put the question that clauses 18, 19, 20, 26, 43, and 49 be amended as proposed. You may now vote. You may now vote. Honorable Senators, please vote. You have a few seconds left. There are some who have not voted. There is a senator who has not voted. Just cross-check. Senator Professor, have you voted? We now move to all clauses. I put the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 as amended, 19 as amended, 20 as amended, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 as amended, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 as amended, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 as amended, 50, 51, the schedule, clause 2, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. You may now vote. Honorable Senators, these are the results for that division. For the first division, the ayes 25, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. On the second division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we now proceed to the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024. Division on new clauses. I put the question that new clauses 1A, 2A, 3A, 5A, 6A, 8A, 12A, 16A, 18 be now read a second time. You may now vote. One person has not voted. Mundigi, umepiga? Prof, have you called? Have you voted? Hasn't? We now move to clauses with amendments. No? Okay, so not yet. We now move to clauses with amendments. I put the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, no, 3, 4, 6, 3, Honorable Senators, on clauses with amendments, I put the question that clauses 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, and clause 2 be amended as proposed. You may now vote. Honorable Senators, we now move to all clauses. I put the question that clause 3 as amended, clause 4 as amended, clause 5, clause 6 as amended, clause 7 as amended, clause 8 as amended, clause 9, clause 10 as amended, clause 11 as amended, clause 12 as amended, clause 13, clause 14 as amended, clause 15 as amended, clause 16, clause 17 as amended, new clause 2A, new clause 3A, new clause 5A, new clause 6A, new clause 8A, new clause 12A, new clause 16A, new clause 18, clause 2 as amended, clause 1A, is that new clause? New clause 1A, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. You may now vote. Honorable Senators, these are the results for that division. On the first division, the ayes 25, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. On the second division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, the abstentions 0. The ayes have it. On the third division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, the abstentions 0. The ayes have it. We now proceed to the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024. Division on clauses with amendments. I put the question that clause 2 and clause 3 be amended as proposed. You may now vote. The County Government's Elections Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024. Senator Lengwe, please vote.
No, he's not, he has to come and, he has to come.
Senator Lelengwe, can you approach the chair, please? Honorable Senators, we now move on division on all clauses. I put the question that clause 2 as amended, clause 3 as amended, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. You may now vote. Honorable Senators, I now wish to read the results for that division. The first division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. For the second division, the ayes 25, the nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we will now move to reporting. And I'd like to urge all senators to stay put. The remaining processes will not take a lot of time so that we finalize. I will now move on to call the mover on the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2022. Senate Majority Leader.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the President's memorandum on the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill number 45 and its approval of the recommendations on clauses 2, 3, and 4 thereof.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the President's memorandum on the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2022, and its approval of the recommendations on clauses 2, 3, and 4 thereof. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next is reporting of progress on the reporting on the metrology bill, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023. Mover?
Honorable Chairperson, I do beg to report to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Metrology Bill, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Metrology Bill, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023, and its approval thereof. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We now report on the election offenses amendment number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2024. Mover?
Honorable, to move that, Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the election offenses amendment bill number 2, Senate Bills number 28 of 2024, and its rejection thereof.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the election offenses amendment number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2024, and its rejection. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We now move to reporting on the Public Finance Management Amendment number 4 Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2020.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee of the PFM amendment number 4 bill, National Assembly Bill number 45 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We now move to the reporting on the top. It's not labor. The labor. Where's the labor? Honorable Senators, we are now reporting on the Labor Migration and Management number 2, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024. Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Labor Migration and Management Bill, Senate Bill number 42 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Labor, Migration and Management number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We now move to the reporting of the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024. Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move. That the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 35 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We now move to reporting of the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024. Mover.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 2 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the County Amendments Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable Senators, Mr.
Honourable Senators, we are now reporting on the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2022. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, excuse me. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the President's Memorandum on the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly number 45 of 2022, and approved the recommendation on clauses 2, 3, and 4.
Very well. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I request Senator Eddie Okech to second.
Senator Andy Okech. Senator Andy Okech, MP.
It's not CBS, until you say CBS chair, but I second.
Okay, Senator Chalgay, can you be a bit settled? Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. As many as of the similar opinion say aye. As those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. So, Honorable Senators, we have now concluded the consideration of the President's Memorandum on the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2022, and approved the recommendations on clauses 2, 3, and 4. There will be no land reading. A message will be sent to the National Assembly on the decision of the Senate on the bill. Next. Chairperson, we are now reporting on the bill of the Committee of the Whole on the Meteorology Bill, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the National Assembly amendments to the Metrology Bill, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Mover.
Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I request Senator Eddie Okech to second.
Senator Andy Okech.
Chair, I second.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. As many as of the similar opinion say aye. As those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Therefore, Honorable Senators, we have now concluded the consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the Meteorology Bill, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023, and approvements to clauses 1, 7, 12, 19, 38, 53, and the introduction of a new clause 43A. There will be no land reading. Consequently, the bill will be referred to His Excellency the President for assent. Thank you. Next is we are reporting now on the bill by the Committee of the Whole, the Election Offences Amendment number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2024.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered and rejected the National Assembly amendments to the Election Offences Amendment number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2024.
Mover. Okay.
I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I request Senator Eddie Okech to second.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Chair, I second.
I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. As many as of the similar opinion say aye. As those of the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we have now concluded the consideration of the National Assembly amendments to the election offenses, amendment number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2024, and rejecting the National Assembly amendments. The bill will be referred to amendation committee. We are now reporting, this is the reporting of the bill by the Committee of the Whole, the Public Finance Management Amendment number 4 bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Public Finance Management Amendment number 4 bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
The mover.
Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I request the Senator for Kisumu, Professor Tom Ojienda, to second.
Senator Professor Tom Ojienda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
So, Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. As many as of the similar opinion say aye. As many as of those of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Move that the Public Finance Management Amendment Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 45 of 2024 be now read a third time, sorry. I request Senator Professor Ojienda to second.
Professor Ojienda.
Mr. Speaker, I second.
I propose the question that the Public Finance Management Amendment number 4 bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024 be now read a third time. I put the question that the Public Finance Management Amendment number 4 bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024 be now read a third time. We are going to the division. Okay. Very well, let us finish on the reporting and then we'll vote thereafter together. Okay, since we are reporting, we don't need actually the quorum to be present, but therefore now you can open the door and withdraw the bus. But please don't move out. There's a reason why I've done that. I wanted to accommodate more senators who are out there to come in.
Please don't go. Ngoja tumalize. Abdul, please.
Who are the senators who are at the door? Senator Abdul and Senator Dulo, kindly just give us 5 minutes. Yeah, let's report on the labor migration and management number 2, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024. Chairperson. Labor migration.
You haven't given me the labor migration one. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole members has considered the Labor Migration and Management Bill number 2 Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Over.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the labor migration and, sorry, apologies. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I request Senator Eddie Oketch to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
I propose a question that the House do agree with the committee in the Senate report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the Senate report. As many as of the similar opinion say aye. As those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Labor Migration and Management Bill, National Senate Bill number 42 of 2024, be now read a third time. Senator Eddie Oketch to second.
Chair, Honorable Speaker, I second.
I propose a question that the labor migration and management number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024, now will be lent a long time. The question that the labor migration and management number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024, be now lent a long time. Division at the end. Next, let's report on the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Senate do agree with the committee in the said report. I request Senator Professor Ojenda to second.
Senator Professor Tom Ojenda.
I second.
Therefore, I propose a question that the Senate do agree with the committee in the same report. I put the question that the Senate do agree with the committee in the same report. As many as of the similar opinion say aye. As those of the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 35 of 2024, be now read a third time. I request Senator Professor Ojenda to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Senator Professor, you wait to be given the mic by the Speaker. Senator Professor Tom Ojenda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I second.
I propose the question that the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024, be now read at that time. I put the question that the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024, be now read at that time. Division at the end. This is the last reporting on the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Very well, mover.
Thank you, Speaker. I beg to move that the Senate do agree with the committee on the said report.
Can you propose a seconder?
And I request Senator Beatrice Ogola to second.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. As many as of similar opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 2 of 2024, be now read a third time.
Still Senator Beatrice Ogola seconding?
Yes.
You have changed your mind?
No,
to Senator Kajwang?
No. I would like the honor to go to my colleague, Beatrice Ogola. Thank you.
Okay, Senator Beatrice.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024, be now read at that time. I put the question that the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024, be now read at that time. So now, Honorable Senators, we are going to the 4 divisions. So you calling the quorum bill for 1 minute. Now, 1 minute is over. You close the doors and withdraw the bus. Close the doors and no senator should leave the chamber. Can I confirm whether you have numbers for the division? Okay. let us try to get the quorum. So open the doors and withdraw the bars. Open the doors and withdraw the bars and ring the quorum bell for 3 minutes. I request honorable senators, let us just finish up this small business before us. Okay, Sergeant at Arms, now close the doors and draw the bars. Honorable Senators, you know, I can see the mood of the House is that the senators want to go for prayers and others to do other important businesses. So therefore, I request you to be very observant because we want to vote in like 25 minutes. One bill after the other, because I already put the questions. So just be very attentive, very keen on the dashboards. Let's proceed. We start with the Public Finance Management Amendment number 4 bill, National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2024. Proceed and vote. Senator Andy. Matinga. Sergeant, at times there is a bit of confusion, so kindly withdraw all the unattended cards. Okay, Honorable Senators, now we're going to the division on the labor, migration and management number 2, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024. Vote, Senators, be very attentive and vote. Four senators have not voted so far. Do we go to the next division? On the division on the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Abuse number 35 of 2024. Senators vote, close in and vote. Senators who have not voted. And check, confirm. Senator Omtata Okoiti. Senator Henry Okech. Approve the table and vote manually. This is now the last division on the County Government's Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Abuse number 2 of 2024. Honorable Senators, proceed and vote. Honorable Senators, these are the results of the division at the third reading. The results of the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 4 Bill, IS 25, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Public Finance Management Act and for connected purposes.
Results for the river migration and management number 2 bill, Senate Bills number 42 of 2024. Ayes 25, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the regulation of private employment agencies and the recruitment of workers within and outside Kenya, safeguard the rights of welfare of job seekers and migrant workers and for connected purposes.
Next is the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024. Ayes 25, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Tobacco Control Act to regulate electronic nicotine delivery systems, including electronic cigarettes and related products and for connected purposes.
The last but not the least, the County Government Election Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2024. Ayes 25, nays 0. All the senators, are you reasoning at the results? Nays, abstention 0, the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Elections Act and the County Governments Act to provide for nomination of members of county assembly to represent marginalized groups and for connected purposes.
Now, Sergeant Anthams, you can withdraw, open the doors and withdraw the bars. And thank you, senators, for your patience this afternoon. We have really done quite some considerable job this afternoon. Thank you very much indeed. Honorable senators, at this juncture, you know, we had some minutes to eulogize our departed brother. Therefore, if you can refresh your request, then I can be able to know who is interested to pass the condolences. Senator Nderitu John Kinyua.
Asanti sana Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii ya kupeana risala za rambirambi kwa niaba ya watu wa Laikipia na niaba yangu mwenyewe, na kusema pole sana kwa kumpoteza kiongozi ambaye ni shujaa, mbunge wa Emuru Wadikil, Johana Ng'eno. Na ikumbukwe kwamba Johana Ng'eno ni kiongozi ambaye aliongea fikra zake bila ya kuogopa na kusema ya kwamba yeye kile ambacho aliamini alikisema. Bwana Spika, vile vile alikuwa ni mtu ambaye aliamini utamaduni. Vile vile aliamini kuwainua wale ambao ni wanyonge waliokuwa chini. Ndiposa Bwana Spika, kila wakati nilimuona katika kusema ya kwamba wale ambao ni waimbaji alihudhuria hafla zao Bwana spika na kuwachangia. Kwa hivyo tunamwomboleza kiongozi ambaye alikuwa na msimamo dhabiti, kiongozi ambaye alijitolea kuwainua wale walio chini. Bwana Spika, mimi namkumbuka, alikuwa ni mtu ambaye ni mcheshi, mtu mwenye furaha. Kwa hivyo kwa niaba ya watu wa Laikipia, sisi tunaambia familia yake mjane pamoja na vile vile familia ya wale ambao waliokuwa nao, tunataka kusema pole sana, na tuambie ya kwamba tuna imani na tunatumaini, kwa sababu yeye alituacha akiwa bado katika ile hali ya kutumikia wananchi. Kwa hivyo kwa niaba ya watu wa Laikipia tunasema pole na tunamtakia apate awekwe ambapo kuna kolazwa watu wale wema na vile vile wale waliokuwa naye. Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii.
Next is Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I rise with immense grief and sorrow to eulogize and to convey my condolences to the family of our departed colleague, the Honorable Joanna Ngeno, and the 5 others who also perished with him in that drastic helicopter crash. Mr. Speaker, it's easy to talk about Honorable Joanna Ngeno and forget about the 5 others. And I'd like to convey my condolences to them, their families, and their loved ones, and pray that God will comfort them during this moment. What happened to Honorable Ngeno and his entourage could happen to any of us, Mr. Speaker. The captain or the pilot of that helicopter, Captain George Were, is a man that is known to many of us. He has flown some of us. The vessel that went down, Mr. Speaker, because in this country, you don't have too many helicopters. In fact, in that space, the helicopters are almost like matatus, because if you are not endowed to own one, then you have to rent one. So the helicopters are just like Ubers, and you don't choose who's going to drive you. And so pilot George Were has piloted some of us. That particular vessel, we have used it previously, and it could happen to anybody. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Joanna Ngeno was my personal friend. When I came to Senate in 2015, it was the 11th Parliament. You do recall, Mr. Speaker, I believe you are sitting in the other house. The Honorable Joanna Ngeno at that time was still a bachelor. And when I came, he offered to show me around Parliament. He went beyond showing me the corridors of Parliament. He took me to Kilimani and several other places and tried to give me an orientation in the city. Mr. Speaker, I was very happy when he got married in 2018 because it slowed him down. He went under the radar a little bit. He went back to school. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to pray that the young family left behind, the children, that God will hold their hands. At the end of the day, all that we do is vanity. At the end of the day, we must ask ourselves, what will our children say on that fateful day if we were to expire suddenly like the Honorable Joanna Ngeno? He definitely did his stuff in the right manner because the whole nation is in consensus that he was a good leader, he was a good man, he was a good husband and a good father. May the Lord comfort the family and the rest of the victims of that crash. And may we reflect on that so that when we pass laws, let it not be for our personal good, let it be for the good of our children, for the children of our children. Let it be a fit inheritance for the next generation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Next is Senator Kenyuri Hesse Anyeni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also wish to convey my condolences to the people of Nari, Emurua Dikri, and the family of the late Joanna Ngeno. In Joanna, they lost a compassionate and straightforward speaking leader. And Mr. Speaker, I had a short interaction for the time I have been in Parliament. Really would want to emulate. He would defend the political divide. Mr. Speaker, also wish to send my condolences. Was a personal friend. If I recount the moments he captured during my mom's retirement ceremony, I just feel so sorry that we had to lose him at such a time. The same to Carlos, he's a colleague previously in my workstation. So these were people who are well known to me, and I really feel sorry that we lost them in this manner. May their souls rest in eternal peace. But one thing to note, the late that he trusted them with his photography, movements, and very many other aspects around his leadership. That's one thing we need to emulate, because when young people are given a platform, they should be in the line of duty. So, Mr. Speaker, let their soul rest in peace. And during this time of heavy rainfall, let our aviation industry really give proper advice so that we don't suffer whatever loss we have suffered anytime soon, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Montent Mbete.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also join you and my colleagues in eulogizing our colleague, the late Honorable Ngong. Mr. Speaker, the late Honorable Ngong was a great man. He's died a warrior in this country, a person who was always fighting for his people, and for sure, for even all the Kenyans who came to know about him, they came to know about him because of the way he was fighting for his people. So we've lost a warrior, we've lost a great leader, and to his young family, I want to send my sincere condolences. Mr. Speaker, death is very painful. Having lost my husband 1 year ago tomorrow, I can only imagine what that family is going through. And what we can do for now is just pray for them to be comforted, and also pray for the other souls which also perished in that crash. Mr. Speaker, allow me also to send my condolences to the pilot of that flight, the late Colonel retired Captain Were. Captain Were was well known to me. He's a person I've flown with many times on the same chopper which crashed. And I can only say that Captain Were was a very, very experienced pilot. Really, death, when it comes calling, no one and nothing can stop it. To the family of Captain Were, may God comfort you. May God be with you during these hard times. And all what we can say, we are going to pray for them, and we are going to be with them at this very difficult time. Thank you.
Senator Mudigi Alexander.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kuchangia mjadala inaendelea kwa wale walipata ajali ya ndege. Mmoja ni Mheshimiwa Ng'eno. Tulikuwa fanya kazi na yeye na pia na wale wengine watano yangu nikiwa Senator wa Embu County na familia yangu na watu wa Embu County. Wote tunasema ni pole kwa Mheshimiwa na wale wengine. Kifo, hakuna mtu anaweza simamisha kifo kwa sababu Mungu mwenyewe ndiye alitulete. Kwa hivyo wale wameondoka, tuwe na roho safi, waweze kwenda salama, kwa sababu tunajua katika Biblia ni sisi tutawakuta. Lakini ningesema saa nyingine mambo ya ajali hatuwezi uliza swali, lakini ningeomba waendeshaji wa pikipiki ama wa gari ama wa ndege, wakati kunafaa kuwe saa nyingine mtu hawa akiangalia hewa iko namna gani, ndio hawa waendeshaji wa ndege ndio tusiwe napata mambo kama hiyo imetokea, ama kama wale wanaangalia mambo ya hitilafu ya ndege wao wakiangalia, na pia ndio tusiweze kupata mambo kama hii tena. Kwa hiyo mimi ikiwa Central Embu County nasema ni pole, na nyinyi familia muweze kukaa vizuri, na pia mnajua vile baba yenu na ule mwingine walikuwa wanataka kukaa, mkae na amani, na tunajua siku moja tutakuta wale. Kwa hiyo nikiwa Central Embu County, Alexander Munyi Modigi, nalete rambirambi zangu pamoja na watu wa Embu County. Pole sana, Madam Speaker.
Senator Metu.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. for giving me an opportunity to pass my condolences to the family of the Honorable Johanna Ngeno and the 5 other passengers that unfortunately perished in that plane crash. It has always been said that you live only once, but if you do it right, one is enough. And I think Honorable Ngeno fits that particular bill. He's a man who has lived once and lived it right. Speaker, hearing the tributes that have come from his constituents, from his community, from his family, and the people around him, and those of us who are his colleagues, Madam Speaker, it tells you that Honorable Ngeno was a great man. Madam Speaker, without belaboring what has been said by most of our colleagues about Honorable Ngeno, the one thing that I would want to point out about him is that he wore the crown of where he comes from with a lot of pride, Madam Speaker. We have been made to always believe and think that once we embrace our culture, once we embrace our traditions, we are tribal and we are fanning ethnicity, Madam Speaker. But Honorable Ngeno was one such a leader who was always very proud to be associated with the Kipsigis culture, the Kipsigis people. You saw that there was one cultural event that he used to sponsor, I think, annually, using his own money, Madam Speaker, so that he can keep growing their culture, so that he can keep growing the things that they believe in as a community, Madam Speaker. I also send my condolences to the families, the 5 families of the people who perished in that particular plane crash, Madam Speaker. I would also want to commit his very young family, Madam Speaker, to God, because it is such a difficult time, Madam Speaker. Even as the constituents have lost their leader, we have 2 young people who have lost their father. We have a young lady who has lost her husband, Madam Speaker. And I think the only person who can comfort them enough is God. So we offer our prayers, we offer our condolences, and we ask that the soul of our colleague rest in eternal peace.
Senator Professor Margaret Kamar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to join my colleagues in eulogizing a very brave leader in Honorable Ngeno. Madam Speaker, I would like to pass my deepest condolences to the family of Honorable Ngeno and to the families of all those who perished with him, the pilot and the team that was Ngeno's team. It's a very sad time for us as Parliament because we lost a very dynamic young man at a time when he was growing politically. We have lost as a country, but we know the pain of the family is more than that. I want to pray, to pass my prayers to the families that God may comfort all of them. I got to know Ngeno just a little bit, Madam Speaker, when he surprised me one day and said, I am at the gate of your farm. And I said, Ngeno, I am not even in the farm. What are you up to? Come visiting me without telling me. Then he says, Madam, I'm not visiting you. I'm visiting your cows. So I said, visiting my cows? He said, yes, just tell somebody to open the gate so that I go and visit your cows because that's what I want. So I called and I said, can you allow the Honorable Ngeno to go and visit the cows he wants to visit? So he went to my dairy farm. Half an hour later, he calls me and he said, there is a cow I will not leave. I said, which one? He said, I have found one cow here, which I really like, and you can give me the price, but I'm going with it. And that was the story between me and Ngeno. He got a cow. He said, you know, I'm starting my family and I want a cow that gives milk because the herd that I have is large, but we don't have we don't have animals. That's the man I know, and a very kind-hearted person, very warm person, very welcoming person, full of humor, but he was a rising star. May the Lord rest him in eternal peace, and we pray that the family is comforted, the young family is comforted, and they grow with the cover of God. Thank you.
Senator Murgor.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to add my voice to those of my colleagues, expressing that Honorable Ngeno is a person that has touched many lives, especially the young ones. And his influence has gone across regions, across cultures, across ages and set groups, such that he was a very fitting person with the young people. He has gone cross-cultural and especially fitting into many cultures. He has come to Pokot many times and danced Pokot style, and has even brought young people from his constituency to dance with Pokot young people. And they fitted in very well. And he was such a charm to them all. And then he has uplifted artists, young people in music and culture, such that some of them have actually been economically empowered by Ngeno himself and his friends that he took to places to uplift young people economically, those artists and cultural practitioners. And then he has also helped those that needed school fees and so on, so that they can remain in schools and in colleges. And so I say, send my condolences from myself and my family and West Pokot to Ngeno and those 5 others that perished with him. May the good Lord rest their souls in eternal peace. Thank you.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for giving me this chance to add my voice to the cries of all the Kenyans, to the cries of the constituents of our brother, our fallen colleague, Honorable Ngeno, and to all the other 5 members that lost their lives in the tragic accident that befell this country just few days ago. Madam Speaker, Mheshimiwa Ngeno was somebody who fought for social justice. You could see that he stood with his constituents in all the challenges that befell them. And Madam Speaker, that is the requirement that all Kenyans look forward to get from all their representatives. Madam Speaker, this is a man that had no boundaries in the service that he gave to Kenyans. You can see that he flew all the way to support the artist. And Madam Speaker, while coming back, Madam Speaker, we looked at a man that was enthusiastic, and you could see that he was probably looking forward to getting to another event to serve other Kenyans. As we condole with his family, which we see as a very young family, we saw a young lady with young children, Madam Speaker. We know that the Lord gives and the Lord takes away, and the Lord will protect and look after them. But along with Mheshimiwa, Madam Speaker, we also condole with the families who lost their loved ones. Madam Speaker, the life of this young teacher touched my heart. He was called Carlos. That was a young man, and you saw We all saw the mother being interviewed, and we saw a mother who was looking forward to security from their son. And this is a man that had gotten recently unemployment and was looking forward to improving not only his life, but the life of his family. Along with the cameraman, along with the pilot, Madam Speaker, I'm reminded of what befell my constituency, Ndewa constituency in 2020. 1 minute and 2012, Madam Speaker, when we lost the late Joshua Roa Jode with the Saitoti, Madam Speaker. It's some.
Give her 1 minute to finish. Please wind in 1 minute.
I thank you. I thank you, Madam Speaker. As we condole with this family, we encourage all Kenyans to feel as one, especially at this time as we bid farewell to the fallen heroes. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Wabubi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Allow me to join the rest of the senators in mourning the fallen heroes. That is Honorable Ngeno and the 5 staffs who are on board with him in the plane crash. I used to admire this name, Emurua Dikir, just because it was making headlines sometimes back. And I got interested to know who was this man pushing this constituency to the limelight. And I came to discover a gentleman called Honorable Ngeno, alias Ngong. I want to join the rest in embracing the attributes that were exhibited by Honorable Ngeno in his line of duty. One, we realized that he was a great lands rights advocate, a champion of development, a unifier, a cultural champion, just following the task that he had come from in bridging communities in Entebbe. So to me, he was such an epitome of servant leadership, and these are the attributes that we as leaders need to emulate. That he was a people-centered kind of leader, and he had grassroots focus for his people all the time. He was also a principled and resilient leader, and I also want to echo his support for the young generation. Madam Speaker, I beg for your protection from Senator Mofaya.
Senator
a minute,
Mofaya,
please.
Don't interfere with the.
Thank you for that protection. So I want us to embrace his support and also emulate the idea of embracing the young generation. Let us learn to support their innovations and even support their industry, following what has been talked about, Mheshimiwa Ngeno. To the young widow, I want to assure her that let her lift her eyes upon the Lord. A minute, I finish? Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. That let her lift her eyes upon the Lord, for he cares. Our Lord is omnipresent to the widows and to the orphans. I know widowhood is not a bed of roses, but she will manage. So I join the rest, and I pray that may perpetual light shine upon Honorable Ngeno's soul and the rest of the 5 members who perished in the crash. May God grant us solace and fortitude. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.
Senator Wakoli.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii tuweze kupeana pole na rambirambi kwa familia ya mbunge Yohana na rubani wa ndege hiyo na wenzio waliokuwa katika ndege hiyo. Ni jambo la kusikitisha kupoteza mbunge ambaye alikuwa amejitolea
muhanga kutetea watu wa jamii yake, wapiga kura wa eneo bunge lake na kutetea hadhi ya binadamu katika nchi ya Kenya. Yeye vile vile ameweza kutupa moyo na ari ya kutetea haki zetu kama Wakenya, na ndivyo kama jumba la Senate lazima vile vile tujiunge na mbinu na tabia na hulka za mheshimiwa marehemu kutetea hadhi ya Wakenya katika gatuzi letu. Mheshimiwa Spika, namhurumia mkewe na watoto, nahurumia jamii hiyo, kwa sababu tuliona jinsi alivyokuwa nakabiliana na nyenzo za kisalama za nchi hii kutetea wasiokuwa na silaha. Mheshimiwa Spika, naomba tu Mungu awape nguvu na uwezo wapiga kura wa eneo hilo, kwamba watapata kiongozi ambaye ataweza kuvaa viatu hivyo na kuendelea kupigania mashamba yao, misitu yao, heshima yao, kazi zao katika nchi ya Kenya, kwa sababu pasipo kiongozi mwenye msimamo kama Yohana, bila shaka nchi huyumba na jamii husambaratika. Nawatakia kila laheri familia, Mungu awape nguvu. Nawatakia wapiga kura eneo hilo, Mungu awape ukakamavu wa kukubali kwamba yeye ndiye utoa na yeye ndiye upeana, na vile vile mrengo wa Kenya Kwanza kwa kumpoteza kijana shupavu ambaye alikuwa anaongoza na nyota yake ilikuwa imeng'aa, na Mungu apokee nafsi zao katika makao yake kule mbinguni. Asante sana Yohana, tutakutana baadaye. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Thangwa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for also this opportunity so that I can also give my condolences to the family of the late Yohana Ngeno. Madam Speaker, the death of Yohana Ngeno is a tragic loss to the nation, and especially to the people of Emuru Dikir constituency and also the Kipsigis community, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I interacted closely with Mheshimiwa Ngeno because he was my counterpart at the National Assembly on the matters committees, because he was the chair housing, and at one time I was also a chair housing, Madam Speaker. And we could interact, and especially when the budget making process was being done. And I can tell he was a man who was supporting the ideas of the Senate when it comes to fighting for the counties. And anything that affected counties, we could agree in most cases, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is a sad moment for all of us. And this I can relate to one occasion where I went to a funeral in Western Kenya some years back, Madam Speaker. And I was seated to somebody who was mourning and crying. And he could cry and say, "Why did you take Wanyonyi? Why did you take Wanyonyi? Why did you take Wanyonyi? Why didn't you take this one?" And he pointed at my friend, Madam Speaker. I think at this particular time, I can actually say, why did you take Ngeno? Why did you take Ngeno? Why did you take Ngeno? Why didn't you take this one? I don't know which one, Madam Speaker, but why Ngeno? Because he is one of the people that we emulated when we were running for this public office, Madam Speaker. The way he was fighting for his people when land grabbers would come and try to take their land, he would stand by his people. And that's what we learned, and that's what we do even today in our counties. Whenever somebody tries to touch land that belongs to the community, we stand because we could see someone who was fighting for his people. Madam Speaker, he'll be remembered. And there was a clip of him saying that if he died, he would be remembered for the next 200 years. Madam Speaker, for an MP who was there for 3 consecutive terms, Madam Speaker, it tells you that his people loved him, his people loved his leadership, and they wanted him to be there because they knew they had a fighter who will never allow anybody to take a piece of their land, a piece of their community, or a piece of their share of whatever, Mr. Speaker, their people are fighting for or would.
Senator Mungatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker,
The Honorable Johanna Ngeno was a friend, and many times we would meet around this precinct of Parliament for different reasons. But maybe the most memorable occasion was when the late Ngeno came to Tana River County as the chair for housing and lands when we were doing the processes of public participation for the affordable housing laws that we were passing. And Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, when we finished the processes, I invited him to come and see the crocodiles at the Great River Tana. And I saw the funny bit of the Honorable Ngeno, because as brave as he was, as as a strong man as he was, when we went near the river, we told him, let us now get into the canoes. He said he would never enter the river. We told him, no, it is safe, but he refused. He completely refused. And at the end of it, we had a great time. He didn't participate in crocodile eating, but I can tell you, we had a great. It was memorable to the people of Tana River, and we thank him because we were able to identify the sites for the construction of the affordable housing. He was able to take our views, and we supported the affordable housing processes until the laws became a reality. I want to say this, Madam Speaker, to the people of Emurua Dikir, may God give you the heart of comfort during this difficult time. To his family, Madam Speaker, I pray for the young children that he left behind, the wife who has really not stayed for him for long, because less than 10 years is not really an old marriage. We want to ask God to comfort them and the rest of Kenyans. May God rest his soul in eternal peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Mofaya.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me join my colleagues in mourning our departed brother, my brother Ngong Ngeno. I have had some very minimal interactions with Ngeno, but I admire his spirit. Madam Speaker, Honorable Ngeno served with passion and dedication. He actually lived behind his constituency. He had a big, very good name for himself for the last 2-3 terms that he has been in Parliament. Was this gentleman who was known across Rift Valley, across Kenya. I picked his passion for representation, especially when he was trying to fight for the rights of his people in Narok. And I captioned some very positive attributes to his lifestyle. Madam Speaker, I think the spirit that we're in Ngeno can be easily be. That is why he was a friend from diaspora through my own way of thinking. And it's very sad, Madam Speaker, that we have lost such a studious young person who had just put up his house in place. And as a country, I'm actually reflecting on his sentiments that once he dies, maybe Kenyans would remember him for 200 years. Actually, it's not even 200 years, it's more than 200 years, because what he has built for the last 15 years as he has been in Parliament is not something that one would just dismiss. So, Madam Speaker, as a member of Tharaka Nithi County, I want to express my deep apologies to the family, to the young family, and the people of his constituency and the entire nation as a whole. Let its soul rest in peace until we meet again, but not very soon.
Senator Tobiko.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me also take this opportunity to register my very sincere condolences to the family of our fallen colleague, Honorable Ngeno. Madam Speaker, it's a very sad moment for the entire country. Madam Speaker, Honorable Ngeno, we joined Parliament together in 2013. We have been in this place for now the 3 terms together. Madam Speaker, he used to call me Paker. I don't know what that meant in the Kalenjin language. What I know, Madam Speaker, is that he was a very good man. A man who defended his people, he defended his position with passion, and he stood for what was right, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I really admired that about him. The fact that, Madam Speaker, it did not matter who was in the helm of the nation, Honorable Ngeno will fight for what is just and what he believed was the rights of his people. Madam Speaker, I also sincerely register my condolences for the other families of the young people who are with the Honorable Ngeno, Madam Speaker. It is the ultimate sacrifice that of friendship and of companionship that people do give to leaders. Madam Speaker, this makes me to appreciate those who walk every day with me and with other leaders in our pursuit of serving the public, Madam Speaker. There are those who are always with us, our drivers, our bodyguards, our friends who are always there with us. And in such a tragedy, Madam Speaker, they pay the ultimate price. Madam Speaker, my very sincere condolences to the very young wife and their children. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Senator Moffair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to starting under 51, 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the status of drought response and climate resilience in Kenya as of counties affected by drought. In the statement, Madam Speaker, the committee should look at the budgetary allocation for the 2025-2026 financial year to support drought response and recovery in ASO counties, including a breakdown of expenditure by program, activity, and implementation timeline. Number 2, Madam Speaker, the committee should also look at the current population facing acute food insecurity in affected ASO counties and the measures being implemented: food assistance, nutrition support, water provision, and livelihood interventions to address the crisis. Number 3, Madam Speaker, the committee should also look at the long-term drought resilience and crisis preparedness strategies, including scaling drought-tolerant crops, climatic smart agriculture, improved water resource management, and ecosystem restoration to reduce vulnerability, protect food security and livelihoods, and strengthen community adaptation to climate-related shocks. Number 4, Madam Speaker, the committee should look at the collaborations with development partners, NGOs, CBOs, and other stakeholders supporting drought response, recovery, and livelihood restoration with details on the nature and scope of these partnership. And the last one, Madam Speaker, the committee should also look at the hurry warnings for drought and climatic related shocks and measures to strengthen them for timely information dissemination, preparedness, and effective intervention. Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is Senator Mwenda Kataya Mofaya, Member of Parliament, Senator for Tharaka Nithi. Thank you.
Senator for Bungoma County, Senator David Wakoli.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Request for statement on the status of public vocational training centers in Bungoma County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the status of public vocational training centers in Bungoma County. Number one, the number of public vocational training centers in Bungoma County, indicating their location by sub-county, ward, and their operational status, together with the approved capacity and actual enrollment in each center. Two, the trend in budget allocations to vocational training centers in Bungoma County over the last 4 financial years, 2022-2023 to date, including allocations to each center, actual disbursements and absorption rates, annual capitation per student, and whether it has been disbursed fully and on time, and any pending bills. 3, the number of institutions in each center, the number of instructors in each center, their areas of specialization, the student to tutor ratio, the breakdown between permanent and pensionable versus the status and timelines of contract engagements, and the measures being taken by the county government to address staffing shortages. 4, the current condition of infrastructure in each center, including classrooms, workshops, laboratories, sanitation facilities, and hostels, and whether the centers comply with safety and accessibility standards. 5, the plans for rehabilitation or upgrading of dilapidated facilities, the tools, equipment procured for each center in the last 3 financial years, including procurement processes followed, instructor involvement in specification, quality assurance measures, and any complaints regarding standard and or incomplete supplies. 6, the mechanisms in place to monitor training quality, performance, and certification outcomes, the number of graduates in the last 3 years, and how many transitioned to employment or self-employment. 7, the county government's long-term strategy to improve the quality and competitiveness of vocational training centers, including collaboration with the national government agencies, industry, and development partners. Senator Wafula Wakoli MP, Senator Bungoma County. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Kisumu, Senator Professor Tom Ojende.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to seek a statement pursuant to Standing Order 53 from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national importance regarding the mass layoff of employees at Moroni Sugar Company. Madam Speaker, these layoffs have adversely affected hundreds of employees and their dependents and have had a significant impact on the economy of Kisumu County and the wider Sugar Belt region. In light of the company's previous state ownership and the strategic role in the local economy, Madam Speaker, concerns have arisen regarding compliance rights and mitigation of socio-economic consequences. In the statement, the committee to address the following. 1, the number of employees affected, disaggregated by employment status and cadre, and the criteria applied in identifying those declared redundant, including the legal and administrative basis for the decision. 2, the state's obligations in respect of outstanding salary arrears, pension contributions, gratuities, statutory remittances, and all other accrued employee benefits arising from the layoffs at Moroni Sugar Company. 3, the fiscal implications of the layoffs, including any direct or contingent liabilities of the National Treasury and any obligations that remain unfunded or pending settlement. 4, the socioeconomic interventions put in place by the ministry to cushion affected employees, their dependents, and wide cane growing community in Muhoroni and Kisumu County. 5, the oversight and accountability measures undertaken to ensure transparency, adherence to law, and compliance with constitutional and labor standards throughout the layoff process at Muhoroni Sugar Company. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I'll allow some comments, a few comments on the statements that have been made. I can see Senator Mungatana.
I want to thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the chance to comment on the statement on the drought situation in the country. Madam Speaker, Tana River County is one of the most affected counties this year because we have gotten very little rain in the course of this year. Madam Speaker, I want to first of all say that the government has done a bit of good work. I particularly want to commend the national government through the minister in charge of public service, the Honorable Ruku, who has come to Tana River 3 times to make donations and supervise food distribution to vulnerable members of the community in Tana River County. Madam Speaker, the question I have is how does the national government, which is headquartered in Nairobi, do much more than the local government, which is headquartered in Hola, that has not done anything in terms of food relief, in terms of any effort, Madam Speaker, to mitigate the hunger issues. Madam Speaker, when the rains fail, the people of Tana River expect that the county government, led by the governor, would do something as an immediate measure, even before the national government does anything. But Madam Speaker, the kind of governor and the leadership that is there currently, you would find people of Nairobi are the ones of responding while our people are suffering. Madam Speaker, animals are dying, but there is no arrangement from the county government in terms of response to give them food or arrange for something. Water is scarce, but nothing is being arranged by the county government in terms of quick response. So, Madam Speaker, I want to take this floor to ask the county government of Tana River to wake up to its responsibility, Madam Speaker. What happens in that county, Madam Speaker, every time they hear of hunger or this kind of crisis, they just wait for the declaration that this is a national disaster so that procurement procedures are short-circuited. And then they look at it as an opportunity to make profit. And Madam Speaker, that's the only time that they stand up to do something, because they will be able to short-circuit the processes and give opportunity, money to people who are their cronies. Madam Speaker, up to today, they have not properly accounted for funds that were supposed to be used for emergency response to the people in past situations such as like be put this year. We want the governor, the CEC in charge of finance to know that we are looking at them. Madam Speaker, can you believe in that county, some time ago, the county government decides to make a response by ordering some relief truck. When those relief supplies were en route, that truck broke down, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, that was the end of the safari of that truck and the contingent of the food that was being supposed to be brought to Tana River. Madam Speaker, that case went to the EACC, and the EACC took statements. Arrests have not been done to date. Madam Speaker, we want drought situations not to be used as opportunity to exploit poor people, vulnerable groups, Madam Speaker, because that is what they do in that county government. Madam Speaker, I want to take the opportunity to tell EACC also to hurry up the files that are pending from Tana River County, especially the file on relief food. It is not, they must take action because they wait for times like this, emergencies, this is what they want. And then they start doing. So, Madam Speaker, I pray for action in that area. I thank you.
Senator Cherarke and Senator Wakoli, you have 3 minutes each, and then we finish. So mind each other. Senator Cherarke.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. One, I want to commend Senator by statement by my law professor, my neighbor, Senator Professor Tom Ojenda, on Moroni Sugar Company layoff. Madam Speaker, we must be told what happened. The only problem I have with this statement, he has localized to Kisumu County. But I want to confirm that Nandi is part of Moroni. And I hope as this statement comes out, Madam Speaker, you know, you and me come from the sugar belt. We have suffered too much. If it is not the factory going under, it is workers being frustrated, Madam Speaker. So I want to believe that when this matter comes, I want to call upon the Agriculture Committee, where the chief whip still chairs, to come up with pragmatic. Madam Speaker, finally, is to appeal that most of these individuals that have been fired, they must be treated. Under Article 41, there is what we call labor rights. Let the labor rights be paid. If there is sufferance pay, be paid. The statutory deduction be remitted, and pension, Madam Speaker. Finally, on the issue of drought situation in Kenya, Madam Speaker, we are a victim of non-recommendation of OAG reports. The OAG did a report, and we ignored. They had proposed that for the address of the drought situation we have in the country at the moment, we needed around 50 billion Kenya shillings to address the situation. And the role of National Drought and Management Authority, we must question. They must appear to tell us, because when you say 23 million Kenyans are in a danger of drought situation, Madam Speaker, it is very unfortunate. And therefore, finally, Madam Speaker, on this issue of national strategic grain reserve, we have, it is the paradox in this country. In the North Rift, Madam Speaker, there is a lot of food in our National Cereals and Produce Board. But in Mandera, a few kilometers, less than 500 kilometers, Kenyans are dying out of hunger. There is no livestock insurance cover. There is no feeds for the animals. It's very unfortunate. Madam Speaker, in the interest of time, allow me to yield to my colleague. I thank you.
Senator Wakoli, and go quick because I can see Professor Ojenda wants to say something.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to weigh in on the matter of Ken farmers and factories in the Republic of Kenya. It is very unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that these people have been laid off, and many of them, they don't understand the criteria that was used for them to go home. In fact, Honorable Speaker, what is being done is that the recruitment agency is not the company management. So when they ask, they are told, go and check the company that is in charge of the process, and therefore they are avoiding responsibility. This is a matter that we cannot accept, and that we should be able to deal with it. We are also calling on the government to do its part of the bargain, pay the arrears of farmers, statutory deductions, and retirement benefits for those who are in the public sector. And therefore, as a committee, I also want to register my acknowledgement and that we shall push this matter to its conclusion. Finally, on the matter of drought, it is prudent that county governments are held responsible. They are giving out incentives today. But when you look at the agenda, is a political agenda to look nice, to look benevolent, but not to address food shortage and insecurity in this country. So we need to rein into these governors. They have billions of money. They can mobilize communities to plant and have reservoirs for the future. But they don't look at that. They are looking at how much they can cash in when people are yawning and gashing their teeth. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to encourage the national government to do what it can, but as a Senate, we must remind governors they must be accountable, they must come to PAC, and they must also provide leadership for our people in the Republic. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Professor Ojenda.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to comment on the establishment and the equipping of vocational training centers in the country. Madam Speaker, the issues raised by Senator Wakoli's statement on the vocational state training centers in Bungoma County is on point. It is on point, Madam Speaker, because the regulation, the structuring, and ensuring that these centers are available to learners that leave school at Form 4 level is important. It is out of these vocational centers, Madam Speaker, that we get artisans who undertake the work, the real work that Madam Speaker focuses on things that we are doing, Madam Speaker. For instance, the affordable housing project. They source their labor and skills from these centers. Madam Speaker, in Kisumu County, we have vocational centers in Kisumu East, in Akado, and in Yabondo. And the issues that the Senator for Bungoma has raised is relevant to Kisumu County because these vocational centers, Madam Speaker, must be resourced in terms of personnel, in terms of proper budgets, Madam Speaker, and in terms of running, so that the staff in these VCTs, vocational training centers, should demonstrate and must deal with issues that are current. Madam Speaker, the other issue on these vocational centers is on the training of instructors. It is important that those who teach in these centers be trained and be able to achieve continuous training so that they meet the needs of the learners.
Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m. Time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 2026 at 9:30 a.m.
That was top. That was top. That was top from the parliament. And of course, today we had a wonderful discussion here. Africa 24, of course, that was live Senate. Of course, we are discussing about the death of Joanna Ngeno, of course, one of the members of parliament who was dedicated, someone who was ready to serve this country. And of course, he has been praised by members of the Senate. And we, as Kenyans, we say, may the Joannas and the 6 gentlemen who were there rest in peace. We will meet here tonight for another political discussion. Remember, Africa 24, you can subscribe. You can follow us in all social media platforms, Africa 24. Tonight, we have a big discussion. Video loading tonight here in Africa 24. We meet here same time for more discussion.